Oh, no. Two.
All right, it's 11:03, and I call this workshop to order. And you asked for this workshop, Commissioner Martin.
I did.
I'd like to lead the way.
I gave you all a packet on the building codes. Whereas Van Zandt County does not have a
Building permit or
not what am I trying to say? Not the city, unincorporated building codes. So basically, we can build anything we want, however we want out in the county. And I think with this county growing the way it is, I think we need to have something in place with the building code rather sooner than later as more subdivisions come in. I gave you Kaufman County has one and also Henderson County has one. And I've read them both and it seems pretty simple to implement. It's basically the IBC, the International Building Code is what they both go by.
are they using the same International Building Code version?
From what I gather, they're both using the International Building Code. It's section.
Well, there's usually date or something, isn't there?
Usually what?
A date of the building code?
No, I didn't bring the thick packet that has it. But it has,
Yeah, if you look on page on the Henderson,
yeah,
I think you may be there on page 5. It's got a permit checklist. Permit, yeah, it's about page 4 or 5. Page 5, permit checklist.
right, okay.
One more page. All right. Okay. See, these are the years that. These are the year codes that they've adopted. Because they get updated on a regular basis. So you have to specify what year the code is that you're going by.
All right. Well, I didn't do that.
So, well, are you saying that Henderson County hadn't updated theirs since 2012?
No, that's not their update, it's the international.
Well,
version.
so I guess when
That is the one, a lot of
that
times,
was current, I guess.
that is the one that they've adopted that you wrote.
That's the
Comply.
current building code.
Yeah,
Right.
current, yeah. So when they,
That is
we'd have to go in and change it whenever they update theirs.
You can, or you can leave it there. You don't, it's not necessary that you update it every time that the international codes get updated.
Well, they would, Henderson and Kaufman would be the same, because Henderson implemented theirs in 2022. I mean, Kaufman passed theirs in 2022, about a year ago, March 22nd, 2022. But the IBC basically goes over everything as far as sewage, electric, building, plumbing, mechanical, residential, commercial, energy, fire, public safety, fuel, gas, everything. The only, not an issue, but the only thing that we would really have to sit down and discuss thoroughly would be how would you enforce it? Who's going to enforce it? What are the fines going to be? Now, those could all be different. I didn't go into that detail how much, I couldn't find it actually on what the fines were in the counties. So, but I know you have, each county, you have to have 3 permits to build, you have to have a permit while you pour the slab, you have to have a permit while the guts of the house, the electrical, plumbing, et cetera is going on, and then you have to have a final inspection. So you have to have 3 inspections on the house, which would be 3 permits, which would be more revenue to the county. And also, I think we would need it to maybe, I don't know, if y'all drive out in the county a lot, and you go down these back roads. It might clean up the housing a little bit too.
So, the Kaufman County, you didn't attach any permits,
No, they didn't have it on theirs.
okay? But they have three different inspections, the county,
Yes.
Kaufman does?
You'll see it, that is it actually on the IBC. On the IBC code, right here it is. If you look on, page 2. Number 5. Required inspections, page 1 and page 2.
Okay,
A person who builds new residential construction must have the construction inspected in strict compliance with the provisions of section 233.1.4 of subchapter F. That's in the IBC, if the construction is begun after the effective date of this order. Be March for talking. The three required inspections during the construction project is applicable. They must be performed at foundation stage, the framing and mechanical system stage, and the completion of the construction of the residence stage. That would be the 3 inspections. But I do think we need to implement one. We just need to figure out who's gonna be the inspector, who's gonna enforce it, what are the fees gonna be? And I'm sure that probably might be next, when we start the budget, we'll start thinking about it.
what about those permits, that TAC recommends, you know, there's 2, one. What about those, will they?
That was in that IBC. I wish I would have brought that. I didn't do it. It's in that section, the section 233. I don't know what chapter it is. It describes it all. But I mean, it's a book. It's this thick.
Right.
This for all construction or just residential housing or?
I believe we need to do this whole process in the same manner that we did the subdivision, and that is have a committee that includes builders and people of the community that can give us their input. The comment that I heard about Kaufman is they have the most stringent building code requirements in the state, and most of the developers say it's a nightmare. And I don't know if that's true or not. You know, again, that's what I'd like to find out, is to get people who are involved in what we want to do is set up something that is not too restrictive. Okay, and at least initially, you know,
Right.
we really just want to know who's building and make sure they're applying by general standards is what it amounts to. And until we can, but I think we should put together a committee like we did with the subdivision and let them have input. I don't know, did you talk to Mr. Bass? Does he do this kind of
I don't know. I have not talked to Bob about this. I mean, we could and see if he works on these kind of things here.
it seems like it would be right in the same realm as
Yeah,
as the subdivision, but they would fit hand in hand.
I'll agree. I mean, no offense, but probably need somebody with some bigger brains than us about the subject.
Yeah, I know.
and it seemed like to me that the one that TAC has was a simple and not as stringent as what we're looking at today, which is simple. Okay, you're building a house, we want you to come in and tell us where you at and fill out the permit.
I didn't look at the town, but
I don't know, but yeah, I think to start with, maybe we probably need a less stringent code and then as we develop, add to it somehow.
Okay.
I think we need to appoint a committee to do the research
Yeah.
of what legally we can and can't do and what those options are and come up with back us with that and us come up with an idea of what we want the permit to look like. Then open it up to a public committee to review and kind of go back and forth with. But I think we ought to appoint a committee of two of the court, maybe throw the fire marshal in, he probably gonna be the one who's gonna enforce it. And let them do the research, coordinate with the attorneys, see what we can and can't do, and get all them details together and come back to the court, and then the court can put together what we think would be a good set of orders for it. And then if we wanna get a public committee together of contractors and stuff to review it and back and forth it.
Do we have any volunteer?
I volunteer to work with.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll do those two and
We need to try to, Brandon, we need to try to contact some contractors. There may not be a lot of contractors here that even want to talk about building code. But we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a popular.
That's what we're talking.
Can we help the fire marshal with this?
Yeah, the fire marshal, I absolutely agree, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we get, and it's important that you do get to builders, but in that regard, because that, you know, I'm sure a lot of them are building in Kaufman County, and so anything less stringent than Kaufman County would be a welcome in their minds.
Man, one thing I don't want to do, if I want to go out there and nail some 2x4 between some trees, put a little tin on for a lean-to for livestock, I don't want to come up here and apply for $1,000 permit. That's what I'm using scrap to build a lean-to.
Well, it's residential construction. I don't know if that would, home construction, whatnot, and they're using
Things, barns and stuff like that, that wouldn't even apply.
in
It's
Kaufman County.
residential and commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, and that'll all be specified in there, what it does. They're, according to Kaufman County, they're using the International Resident Code as of May 1st, 2008. So.
Would you say 2009?
2008, yes, and this was what they just filed in 2000, this month, so. You know, again, that's one of those things that the builders can help you out on which year version of the code that we want to standardize on. And actually, I think we ought to get with the city of Canton, who's already, you know, or, and I don't know if Wills Point has planning, but get them involved too, so that we can try to at least be consistent throughout the county on what they're doing, find out what they're doing and all.
And can we use, is it okay if we use, Mr. Bass as a, kind of to guide us, to lead and guide us?
Well, I think it would be best, if we did a workshop with him so that we all, well, because I'm assuming we're paying him for his services.
At some point in time, we probably need a workshop with him,
Yeah.
but just in the beginning, maybe
Okay.
just, you know, just correspondent.
I think you're gonna have to, Gregory, you're gonna need to, this way we know what we can and can't do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Can we have Mr. Bass to help?
Okay, but it looks like, I really like.
But I think
See, this is, I really like this one in Henderson because it provides a lot of information to the builders
That we have.
on, you know, resources within the county as far as utilities and whatnot. But I'm a firm believer in plagiarism. And so we can find a one that they're using 2012 International Building Codes and Henderson. What they say.
Except for electric.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just what I kind of dug into as of now, and just wanted some thoughts.
Yeah, I think if we can move forward and get something in place so that we can consider what we want to do to staff or to staffing, if we need to staff it, we can have it ready for the budget.
Okay. All right.
Anything else? So Virgil, you and Brandon are gonna get together and move forward and let us know when we need to be involved. Okay. Very good. All right. There's nothing else. I'll this workshop post. All right. At 11:20, no, 11:18. Can you sign? There's a whole bunch of documents here to sign.
I think I signed all of them.
Yeah.
There was just two in there that I see. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's all it is too. That's it. It's two. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting these samples. I'll get it.
Before me.
I am.